This is Wedding Banter on Atlantic Television Network. This program highlights issues about wedding, its preparation, post-wedding, and marital issues. A happy home is a sanctuary where love, laughter, and warm bond is a place where each family member feels valued, supported, and connected. The atmosphere is filled with positive energy, fostering growth and harmony. In a happy home, open conversation is a key. Yeah, let me give him a spoon for one. And family members share their thoughts and feeling openly, fostering understanding and empathy. Conflicts are resolved and patience and respect, strengthening relationships rather than causing rifts. Quality time is cherished, whether it is through shared meals, games, night, or simple conversation. Everyone contributes to creating a clean and comfortable environment, ensuring that the home is a place of relaxation and joy. Of course, when we're talking about a happy home, a lot is involved. You need to do a whole lot and simple things to have a happy home. And that is why we have a psychologist in the house this evening to tell us more about this. A lot of persons do not know how to maintain a happy home. They start, but they do not finish. And of course, you're not supposed to finish. It's something that goes on and on and on. And today we are going to be looking at some of those keys. But first of all, I will ask my guests, what are the key characteristics of a happy home? Do we have them? Or is it just a 360-degree thing?
Thank you so much. Characteristics of a happy home. Happy home is such a place where an individual, it may be male, it may be female now, have a kind of desire to be all the time. You have gone out to work since morning and you are going back home. Colleagues are moving, friends are moving, and you are reluctant to go. It shows something is wrong. And when there is nothing you are doing, you are no longer doing anything in the office, on the road, and you are still reluctant going home. Probably you want to hang around till probably 9:30, 10:30, 11 before you go back home. Then something is wrong. So happy home, one of the characteristics of happy home is that people are wishing, members of the family are willing and wishing and excited going back home after work. That's one of the characteristics of a happy home. Happy home is a place whereby the parties are free to express themselves. They are not confined, they are not boxed, they are not bottled. They can express themselves, express their feeling, they can communicate openly without fear of our intimidation and so forth. So we have a lot of characteristics of happy home. Happy home is a place where somebody will sit back and be able to think that, yes, I have boundaries and my boundaries are being respected. It is a place where both boundaries, parties to the home are respecting boundaries. Happy home is such a place where somebody or a stakeholder in that family is one that is having a clear expectation. You can easily say, okay, this is what I expected, and you are meeting it. There could be one time or the other whereby we are probably not meeting up, or we are not getting what we require or expected from each other. But happy home is where we have understanding, where somebody, okay, I couldn't meet up with expectation, and there's an understanding, okay, these are the reason, these are the reason. Happy home is such a place whereby when we offend each other, we are not feeling too big to apologize to each other. Happy home is such a place whereby, when we have a vision, we are both putting in our best. We have something to bring to the table to make sure that the family is running the way it should run. Happy home is such a place where we have a wealth of experiences, exposures that we have had in time past. We are bringing them together to better the goal of the family together. Happy home is such a place whereby somebody is not holding. Everybody is trying to bring in something to make sure that we are moving forward and we're doing what we're supposed to do as a family.
Okay, is that always the case? Let me start with this one. You talked about where one will want to go back home, but if their place is not happy, they might just want to hang out with friends, stay till 10 o'clock before they go back home. Is that always the case? And the next question is, do they necessarily need to have all of this which you have mentioned, or is it a 50-50 thing, or is it 100-100?
Thank you so much. Sometimes it's not everybody that is reluctant at going back home. There are some men or some people that they are bold to go back home, and going back home, they are having behind them Operation Fire for Fire, quote and unquote.
What do you mean by that?
Whereby you give me, I give it back to you. Whereby we can fight it out. It's not a happy home. So happy home is a place whereby, oh, you offend me, we're able to sit down amicably and talk about it, iron it out. So it's not everybody that will probably want to avoid the home based on personality, based on temperament. Some people, they don't just want the trouble of, I don't want this woman's trouble today. Let me stay, hang out with friends. Some people, oh, this man is coming again. Let me go and sleep. Please tell daddy I've slept. See, his food is on the table. Before he comes back, even when he's noticing that the man is coming, she's rushing to go and sleep. She's at advanced level. We have seen people that probably they have children and grandchildren, and the woman of the house is looking up to, oh God, when will my first child deliver her baby or his baby, so that she can go for omugo. Yeah. And once she escape, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, she's not coming back. These are things we could talk about. Home that are not happy. Happy home is such a place whereby somebody is looking up to go back and say, I want to be with my husband, I want to be with my wife, I'm missing my daddy, I'm missing my mommy, baby girl, I'm missing you, missing my daughter, missing my son. A happy home is a place where everybody is aspiring to be from time to time.
Okay, thank you so much. And then let's look at communication. I earlier mentioned communication from my first explanation when I read those things out. So I'd like to know how communication can contribute to a happy home, because you said, you talked about a mogul stuff, how a woman will want to leave. All of those is to avoid communication, right? Exactly. So how can this contribute to a happy home?
Thank you so much. Communication is, in fact, it's like the blood in our body. Once the blood is off, the person drop dead. Now, communication, once it's probably off or is inappropriate in a relationship, automatically there will be no happiness in that marriage. And in communication, what we say is not as powerful as how we say it. In communication, in relationship and marriages, what we say is not as powerful as how we say it.
What we say,
yes,
is not as powerful
as how we say it. Now, what I mean is this. Somebody is in a relationship and she is not happy. And she wants to tell her husband, I'm not happy with the way you treated me yesterday. And instead of saying, dear, the way you treated me yesterday when we went out, I felt so bad. I felt embarrassed. That's a way of communication. Let's compare it with the woman just look at the husband and say, I remember the last time we traveled to your village. Now, so your mama talked to your papa. That's what I mean, that what we said is not as important as how we said it. So we must be able to package words, communication in a way that communication is a two-way thing. It's a dialogue. It's not a monologue. You are sending a signal, sending a message. The person must be able to understand the message and reply you. But when you are sending a signal in a way that it will trigger emotional outbursts from your husband or from your wife, then it's dangerous. So communication in marriage, in relationship, it's very, very important. But as important as it is, sometimes our keeping quiet, we may say we are not talking, but it's part of communication. Sometimes when a woman is offended by her husband, instead of her to quickly say, my dear, I feel bad when you shouted at me yesterday, or when we went out, the way we shouted at me, I felt so bad. I don't expect you to shout at me like that. But the woman didn't say anything. Another thing happened. The woman didn't say anything. Then, maybe the third time, the woman now busted. I say, that is the way you have been saying. You don't know how to talk to somebody. You'll be talking as if you are out of your senses. Now, it's communication they're still doing, but in a wrong way. So, communication can contribute to happiness in marriage. How? When husband expresses himself, the wife expresses herself, and both of them have an understanding with each other, they will experience happiness in their marriage. But when somebody is talking and the other person is not understanding, there's miscommunication, misunderstanding, then there will be no happiness in that marriage. Somebody will not be comfortable. Somebody will not be happy. Somebody will be feeling that this man is treating me, maltreating me. This woman she's maltreating me. Instead of me coming back home, I will no longer come back home on time. I prefer to take care of myself outside. If she cannot take care of me, and probably...
But is that always a solution? Because it seems we have majority who prefers to stay out when they have issues than to go home.
But that doesn't solve the problem. It doesn't solve the problem. It will be compounding the problem. The issue is that when there is an issue and we can sit down and talk about it, communicate it effectively. We call it effective communication. Once the communication is effective, even when there is a misunderstanding, we easily understand, we easily take care of it, and we'll be able to manage it together amicably, harmoniously, and both parties will be happy. The children will be happy, even the husband will be happy, the wife will be happy. So communication in marriage must be effective. And by so doing, it will contribute positively, effectively to the happiness in marriage.
All right, thank you so much. And then you also talk about when there is conflict, how they resolve it is always a way out here. But what roles does conflict resolution play in maintaining harmony in a family? Because, you know, there are cases where even when the conflict is being resolved, there is still that connection is not still there, especially if it is something that has lasted up to months or days. So how can this resolution bring harmony in homes?
Thank you so much. Conflict resolution is a major source of harmony in home. Now, there's no how we will have two persons living together as husband and wife that there will be no misunderstanding one day or the other. But when there is an effective way of resolving their conflicts, then there will be harmony, there will be progress, there will be peace, there will be joy, there will be happiness in that marriage. Now, when there are misunderstanding, there are several ways we can look into it. Today, many people resolve conflict through different means. A majority of the means through which they are resolving conflict are not effective.
Okay.
For instance, there's a misunderstanding, and the man looked at the wife, shouted her down, said, "Shut up! I am your husband. By right, you're not supposed to be talking. When I'm talking, you don't talk. You don't even have respect." Now, probably he is bringing an ideology of what he find out to be helping in his father's marriage many years ago that is no longer obtainable in our days. Conflict resolution. Now, many years back, before now, men and women get married. The gap between the husband and wife, you cannot compare it with the gap between the husband and wife today. The gap in the knowledge of the knowledge and understanding between husband and wife yesteryears, you can't compare with what we have today. Probably yesteryears, a man of age 40 getting married to somebody of probably 18 years, 20 years. Now, in their marriage, even if the woman is not thinking about this man is my husband, she will think this man is enough to born me. Now, the rate at which they relate It's not the way we relate as husband and wife today. Today, we have husband and wife that are 5 years gap, 3 years gap, 2 years gap, and so on and so forth. Now, the rate and the way in which the wife and the husband are relating today are not the way they are relating yesteryears. Therefore, the way in which we resolve conflicts is not going to be the way they resolve it during the yesteryears. Wife and husband will be able to say, my dear, I don't think we should do this thing this way. I think it would have been better we do it this way. Meanwhile, yesteryears, wives don't have opportunity of saying that anything the man said is just, oh yes, yes sir, yes sir. But today, the man is working, the one is working, the man is learned, the one is learned. Whether we like it or not, there must be a rapport. Therefore, the way in which they will resolve conflict is not going to be the same way our forefathers are resolving conflict. Our forefathers' strategies, no matter what happened, they will still tell the woman, oh yeah, tell your husband sorry. They don't want to know who is at fault. But today, if we try to apply that, we may not have happiness. Such a woman will not be happy in that marriage. She cannot be happy. And once she's not happy, that man will not also be happy. We want happiness in marriage? If that is our focus, we must be able to resolve conflict in an effective manner, that the husband will be happy, the wife will be happy. It's very, very important, which means we must be able to dialogue. We must be able to look at what is the root cause of this issue that is causing misunderstanding. Okay, how can we resolve it? It's a give and take. It should be a win-win, not that I'm your husband, whatever I say, you must just abide by it. Even if the woman is dying, no, we must be able to look at it. And sometimes it may be from the other way around. The man may be the one that is saying, oh no, this is what I think it should be. And I say, no, as far as I'm concerned, this cannot stand. It has to be this way. We have marriages in such scenario. But the truth of the matter is that our ways of resolving conflict must be harmonious. Our ways of resolving conflict must be the we and win-win. That it will not be that, okay, I win, you lose. We must be able to look at, okay, what benefit is it bringing to the marriage? Let's not look at, okay, what am I benefiting from it as a husband? What are you benefiting from it as a wife? Okay, let's now look at it. What is our relationship benefiting from it? It will be more holistic in manner than looking at this man is the husband or this woman is the wife.
Thank you.
So many factors are contributing to that. Now, apart from age factor, now the societal value is a key factor. It's playing a major role. Now, the way the society sees marriage yesteryears is not the way they are seeing marriage today. Yesteryears, women, once they are getting married, nothing is taking them out of their marriage. In our society today, once it's not working, somebody is jumping out of it. So somebody that had a mindset that once this thing is not working, I'm going out. Do you think such a person will want to give the kind of respect and regard the yesteryears women gave to their husband? No. I want to handle an intending couple in a dialogue. And the lady said to the husband, said, I cannot suffer with any man. If the marriage did not work, I will walk out of the marriage. I said, wait a minute. You are not yet in the marriage. You're already threatening the man. You will walk out. It doesn't work out. If the money is not flowing. Personally, I pinch myself and say, no, this is not supposed to be. Now, that's the society in which we find ourselves. Now, not only the societal value now, but the truth of the matter is that the value that the society placed on marriage before now, yesteryears, is no longer the same value that we place on marriage today. That's one. Another thing is that exposure, the level of exposure that women are having today is not the same level of exposure our mothers and grandmothers are having. most of them, they don't even have, they can't sit with men. They can't sit with men. They can't talk when men are talking. But today, it's no longer so. The women, they are exposed, and the level of education is also contributing, is a contributing factor to it. They are exposed, they are educated. Also, nowadays, before now, women, they are not working. They are at home, taking care of the children, taking care of the home, taking care of the family. But today, women are working. So, what else will the man say that they cannot say? These are the factors that are really contributing to the situation that we have in our hand in these our days.
So, Mr. Samuel, which one do you prefer? Do you prefer the marriage of yesteryears, or do you prefer the marriage of now?
Thank you so much. We don't have to say we prefer now. We don't have to say we prefer yesteryear. The truth of the matter is that we must bring to fore the blend of the two. Now, to be sincere with you, where we have women that are respecting their husband regardless of their exposure, regardless of their educational background, regardless of their academic attainment, regardless of whatever, even no matter the closeness in age of their husband, and they are respecting their husband. I tell you from experience, I'm more than 20 years dealing with spouses, couples, relationship. I've seen them being happy more in their marriages. Their husbands are happy, they too, they are happy in their marriages. And I don't want to begin to mention names. I was listening to a woman. She said she runs a program online, and she said, he said, I have this say much on this platform. He said, when I get back home, he said, my husband has all the say. He said, oh yes, madam.
In this generation?
Yeah, in this generation. Now, apart from that, I've heard a woman of God say that as well, that when she get back home, she doesn't think about her attainment academically, socially, business-wise, and so on and so forth, that she submit totally. So the truth of the matter is that we still have people, they may not be very plenty, that are still living that standard of total submission to their husband, regardless of their attainment socially, academically, financially, economically, and so on and so forth. But the truth is that I'm bringing the blend of the two. Women should be exposed. Women should be academically inclined. They should run business. They should do well. But they should go back and pick those values that our mother have. Having respect for their husband, regard for their husband, it gives them joy. The husband will treat them well. The husband will be happy. The wife will be happy. The children will be happy. They will be able to inculcate good value. We are in Africa. Good value to the upcoming generation, so that we will not totally have a generation where there's no regard for husband, there's no regard for wife. And such a woman that respects husband, you will never, it will be hard, except where we have husbands that are having problem, a mental health, that will raise hand against a woman that is submissive, a woman that is obedient, a woman that is loving. It will be hard to see such a husband raising hand against them. So these are things that I think I can advocate for, that in our days, regardless of our exposure, women, wife should still submit, wife should still should hold on to those values of our mothers.
Okay, now before we go, let's talk about this. I have something here, a quality time. And in this our generation, we have women who are career women, and then somehow it's always a little bit difficult to actually balance, to have a quality time with our spouse, because of the time we have to spend out the pursuing career. So does it have a way of bringing a happy home, even in the little time you have to spend?
Thank you so much. We cannot eat our cake and have it.
Okay.
These are part of the issues that we don't have during the yesteryear's marriage. Women are not career women. They are purely at home, taking care of home front, while the men goes out to work. But now in our days, we have career women. Fine and good. It's okay. But the truth of the matter is that in order to maintain the, thank God for the topic, maintaining happiness, is that?
Yeah.
Now, to maintain happiness, both the husband and the wife must be very wise in managing their homes. How do I mean? One, let me digress a little bit. I've conducted seminars for singles where I asked how many of the young guys want their wife not to be working, to only stay at home. In our days, we have less than 10% that want their wife. So, which means over 90% want their wife to be working. Now, the question is, I tell them, you want your wife to be working, then you cannot eat your cake and have it. What our fathers were not doing, we must be prepared to do. And what do I mean? Our fathers were not really contributing when it comes to house chores, working at home. When they come back from farm, they rest. They will not go and begin to help their wife to bath children, to wash plates in the kitchen, to do some household work. They don't do that. But in our days, as far as we now have career women, husband, if we want happiness, the husband want happiness, the wife want happiness. One, the husband must be willing to step in and to also assist the wife during certain period that the wife is out there pursuing career. What do I mean? If we have 3 kids, we are going to work, the children are going to school, there is nothing wrong. If I want to be happy, there's nothing wrong. Let me be practical. Let me say we are going to the same route. We are following the same route. We are driving in the same car. And the children will go to school. We drop the children in school, then I will drop my wife, then I'll go to my work. And we must leave the house latest 7:15 in the morning on a daily basis. And I want to now fold my hand and say, my father or my great-grandfather don't used to help their wife to wash plates, to bath children. So my wife will be the one to wake up, cook in the kitchen, finish cooking, wake the children up, go and bath them, finish, go and fetch water, and do all the things. I will just lie down and be sleeping. And I will not say, honey, is my water ready in the bedroom? She is the one that will still get my water ready. We cannot be happy, because at the end of the day, I will be late. She will be late. The children will be late. And we will say, woman, what's your problem? Get ready fast and let's go. Instead of fighting on issue of time management, she's bathing one of the children, I'm bathing the second one, and quickly we finish. She's in the kitchen, I'm tidying up the sitting room, and before you know it, 7 o'clock, we are done, we are ready. Which means men, husband must make certain input in marriages of today as far as our wives are career women. Not only that, let me also say this, the wife must also use wisdom. The wife must also now begin to think of how to make use of certain things to help. Probably the person that create the ideology of house help must be a career woman. That's the truth. You can pursue career and still work the way our grandmothers
used to work.
It's not possible. It's not possible. There must be a system put in place to run the home. If we must be happy that, okay, maybe as a woman, a career woman, you are closing maybe 7 o'clock, 7:30, and your meal must be latest by 8. Then somebody must go to market for you.
Exactly.
Somebody must be doing the cooking before you get back home, and so on and so forth. So there must be a system put in place to assist so that we can still maintain our happiness and maintain our career as a wife and as husband.
Wow, thank you so much, Mr. Samuel Ajayi. It was